For this crochet project, you'll be using medium weight yarn in the colors that you want, a 2.75 millimeter crochet hook, a yarn needle, a pair of scissors, some plastic safety eyes. I'm using 7 millimeter eyes for my doll, and also some fiberfill stuffing. For the head, you're going to start off with the yarn color you want for the skin. You're going to insert 6 single crochets into the magic ring for round 1. So that's going to look like this. 1 single crochet, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And you're going to pull the ring tight to close it. In the next round, you're going to increase all the way around. So that means in each single crochet, you're going to insert 2 single crochets. So here in the very first stitch, I'm going to insert 2 single crochets. 1, 2, increase again for the next stitch. 1, 2, increase again. I'm so sorry about my hook squeaking. Oh, I don't know how to get it to stop. Okay, and you're going to increase. Keep increasing until you reach the beginning of the round. For round 3, what you'll do is do a single crochet and increase all the way around. You're going to repeat that 6 times. I'm just putting my yarn tail up front here so I can mark where I start my round. You can use a stitch marker if you'd like. So here I'm going to start off with 1 single crochet and an increase in the next stitch. Let's do that again. 1 single crochet and then an increase in the next stitch. 1 single crochet, then an increase, 1 single crochet, and an increase, and repeat that all the way around. When you get to the end of the round, you're going to go ahead and start round 4 with 2 single crochets and then an increase. You're going to repeat that around. So that's going to look like this. 2 single crochets and then an increase in the next stitch. Let's repeat that for a total of 6 times. 2 single crochets and an increase, 2 single crochets and an increase, 2 single crochets, increase, Now for this next round, by the way, what we just did was round 1 to 4. For round 5, you're going to single crochet 3 times and then an increase. So that's 1, 2, 3 single crochets. And in the next stitch, you're going to insert 2 single crochets to make the increase. Repeat that again. 1, 2, 3 single crochets, and in the next stitch you're going to increase. Go ahead and repeat that all the way around for a total of 6 repetitions. All right, now that you're done with that round, for round number 6 and all the way to round number 10, you're simply going to single crochet around. So here we're gonna just again single crochet around until you make it to round 10. I'm going to show you a few single crochets here, and then we'll meet back in a little bit. Here is round 10 of the head finished. As you can see, we just single crocheted up from round 6 to 10 in straight rounds, no increasing. Now for round 11, we are going to do a bit of increasing, and this is to create a nice little cheek effect for your doll. So what you'll do is single crochet 4 and then increase all the way around. Here's what it'll look like. In the first stitch, single crochet, and then that's 1, here's 2, 3, 4, and in the next stitch you're going to increase, and we repeat that around 6 times. So here's another repetition for you. 1, 2, 3, and 4 single crochets, and then an increase. Oops. And go ahead and repeat that all the way around. Now on to round number 12. You're simply going to single crochet around in each stitch here. We'll meet back for round number 13. Round 12 here is complete, having just single crocheted all the way around. For round 13, we're going to do the decreases. So we're going to single crochet 4 and then decrease 6 times around. Here's what it'll look like. Single crochet 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And in the next stitch, you're going to decrease, and you can decrease using a regular decrease or an invisible decrease. I'm going to demonstrate an invisible one here. You're going to insert your hook into the front loops of the next 2 stitches, yarn over, pull through, might be a little bit fiddly here, and then you're going to single crochet like normal. Now do that all the way around 6 times total. So here I'm going to do the next 4 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I'm going to do an invisible decrease going into the front loop of the next 2 stitches. Yarn over, pull through. Oops, that was fiddly. And finish it off with a single crochet like normal. Continue all the way around, working into each of those stitches in this round. After you've gone all the way around, you're going to do round number 14, and that's going to be single crochet 3 and decrease 6 times. So I'll show you the first repetition here. Single crochet 3, 1, 2, and 3, and then we're going to decrease in the next stitch. Alright, and let's work all the way around and meet back when we're done with this round. After you finish round 14, now is a good time to start attaching the eyes. what you'll do is find the location where you want to put the eyes in. And I chose the spot between round 10 to round 11. As you can see here, counting down, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. So right between 10 and 11 is where I'm putting my eyes. I'm using 7mm eyes, and I'm putting them 6 stitches apart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So now you can go ahead and find the spot with your hook if you want to make it easier on yourself. And then poke your eyes in. Then attach them using the plastic safety backings. And we'll do that for both of those eyes here. And there you have it. Now that you've got the eyes attached, you're going to go ahead and work on the very last round of this project, or of this head. And that's going to be decrease all the way around for round 15. So here's what it'll look like. You're going to insert your hook into the next 2 stitches like so, and then make a decrease. Single crocheting those 2 stitches together. And you're going to do this all the way around. When you when you decrease around, you're going to end up with 12 stitches at the end of this round. So let's meet back when this round is done. I'm going to save you from that horrible squeaking here. Here is the finished head with the last round complete now. And as you can see, the hole is a lot smaller. You're going to go ahead and stuff the doll's head, and you're going to finish off with a yarn tail. You don't have to make it too long because we're going to use the body's yarn tail to sew onto the head. So there we go. All right, let's continue with the pattern. For the hair cap, you're going to follow round 1 to round 9 for the head. And then for round 10, you're going to do the following directions. So start off with a single crochet, then do a half double crochet, double crochet 3 times. So that's 1, 2, and 3. Then you're going to do a half double crochet, a single crochet, and then slip stitch in the next stitch. As you can see, when you do that, you're going to create sort of this curve, and then you're going to continue with the instructions here. So after the slip stitch, you're going to do a half double crochet. After the slip stitch, you're going to do a single crochet, then a half double crochet, and then you're going to double crochet 18, or keep going until you reach the last 2 stitches. So let's go ahead and half double crochet now. Double crochet. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, All right, so I've gotten to 18 double crochets, and for the last 2 stitches of this round, you're simply going to do a half double crochet and then a single crochet. And that's that for the round. You're going to fasten off and use a long yarn tail so that you can weave, so that you can sew the hair cap onto the head later. What you can do for this last stitch is you can fasten off by doing a slip stitch in the next stitch, like so, and then fastening off with a long yarn tail. For the pigtails, you're going to use the yarn you want for the hair color. Start off with a magic ring. For round 1, you're going to insert 4 single crochets into the magic ring. So here, that is 1, 2, 3, and 4 single crochets. And you're going to pull your ring tight. Then you'll start on round 2. For round 2, you're going to do a single crochet and increase, repeat around. You're going to do that 2 times. So for the start of round 2, you're going to single crochet and then increase. Single crochet and then increase. And that's that for round 2. At this point, what you can do as well is if your piece is currently wrong side out, go ahead and push it so that the right side is out. All right. Then what you'll do next is you're going to do a single crochet increase repetition around again. This time you're going to do it 3 times. So here's what it'll look like. Single crochet in the first stitch, increase in the next. Repeat that a second time. Single crochet in the first stitch, increase in the next. And we're going to repeat that a 3rd time. So single crochet in the first stitch and increase in the next. Now, for round 4, you're going to single crochet twice and then increase. And you're going to do that 3 times around. So let's single crochet twice. That's 1, 2, and then you're going to increase in the next stitch here. Increase. Let's do that again. So single crochet twice, 1, 2, and then you're going to increase in the next stitch. And let's do that one more time. So single crochet twice and increase in the next stitch. After round 4, we're going to now decrease. I don't stuff the pigtails. If you want to, you can stuff them very lightly, but I feel that since they're so small, they really don't need stuffing. So for this next round, you're just going to decrease all the way around. That means 6 decreases to make these 12 stitches into 6 stitches. So let's decrease around. That's 1 decrease, and then 2, and then 3, 4, 5, last one here, you're going to decrease 6. There you go. So that's that for the pigtails. As you can see, you've got a small hole at the very end. What you'll do is fasten off with a long tail for sewing, and you're going to be kind of stitching the small hole shut and sewing the pigtail onto the hair cap. And if you've got that long yarn end sticking out that you started with, go ahead and just pull it in. I like to hide it inside the pigtail, so you can cut it if you want, but cutting it too short isn't a good idea because it could come undone. So let's just stick it in, and there you have it. You'll want to make 2 of these little pigtails. Let's go ahead and do the flower. You're going to use the color yarn you want for the flower and start off with a magic ring. In the magic ring, you're going to chain 3 and slip stitch to make a petal. And you'll do that 5 times total. So let me show you how that's done. 1, 2, 3 chains, then insert a slip stitch into the ring. Like so. Let's do that 4 more times. 1, 2, 3 chains, insert your hook into the ring, and make a slip stitch. 1, 2, 3 chains, slip stitch. 1, 2, 3 chains, slip stitch. And here's our petal number 5. 1, 2, 3, and slip stitch. All right, and all you need to do now is take the starting yarn tail and pull it tight, and it'll scrunch up to make this little flower. Go ahead and just fasten off with a long yarn tail for sewing to the head later. You can make 1 flower or mini flowers and give her a flower crown if you want. For the legs, start off with the color that you want for your doll's shoes. We're going to be beginning from the feet. So in round 1, you're going to start with a magic ring and insert 6 single crochets into the ring. So here, that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Pull the ring tight, and then you're going to single crochet around for round 2. Just 1 in each of these stitches here. So in this first one here, I'm going to insert a single crochet and go all the way around. If you would like, you can also push your piece inside out so that the right side faces out. After you've done round 2, we're going to go ahead and switch over to the skin color for the rest of the leg. We're done making the shoe now. And with the skin color yarn, you're just going to attach it. I'm finishing off my last stitch in round 2 using the skin color yarn, and I'm going to single crochet around now for round 3 using this peach color. So nice and easy, just single crochet around, 1 single crochet in each stitch here. And you're going to keep working all the way around for rounds 4, 5, and round 6. So go up to round 6 and just single crochet around for each of these rounds. Here's a look at the finished leg. When you crochet up to round 6, you'll see that it's about yay high or yay long. And go ahead and make 2 of these. For the arms, you're going to start with the skin color yarn. Start off with a magic ring, and in round 1, you're going to insert 5 single crochets into the ring. So here, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then you're going to pull your ring tight. And in the ring, not in the ring, in round 2, you're just going to single crochet around in each of these stitches. So here I'm going to insert my hook into the very first single crochet and make a single crochet. Do that for the second stitch, number 2. Here's number 3. Here's number 4. And here's number 5. That's that for round 2. You'll want to push your piece inside out so that the right side faces out if you haven't done so already. And keep working around. So for rounds 3, 4, and 5, you're simply going to just single crochet around your piece. So just find the next stitch and continue single crocheting around. When you're all done with single crocheting around for those rounds up to round 5, go ahead and pull in your starting yarn tail. And you're also going to fasten off with a long tail for sewing. Go ahead and make 2 of these arms. For the body, work rounds 1 to 4 the exact same way you would do the head, except you're going to use underwear colored yarn, which I'm using as white here. For round 5, you're going to continue on using the color you want for the dress. So for my doll's dress, I want to use this turquoise color. I'm going to go ahead and attach it here, slipping it through the last single crochet here, like so. All right, and now we're going to continue on. Single crochet around for round 5 using the new color. For round 6, what you'll do is single crochet around in the back loops only. So here, I'm going to insert my hook into the back loop of the stitch, which is the loop farther from you, and make a single crochet. And I'm going to do that all the way around. I just finished round 6, single crocheting around in the back loops only. Now I'm going to turn my piece inside out so that the right side faces out. Then you're going to do round 7 and round 8, single crocheting around in both loops as normal. So you're just going to simply go around without any increasing or decreasing here. We'll meet back after round 8 is complete. Here, round 8 is now complete. For round 9, we're going to begin to decrease, and we're going to do so with single crochet 2 and decrease all the way around. You're going to repeat that 6 times. Here's what it'll look like. Single crochet 2 and decrease by crocheting the next 2 stitches together. Repeat that. Single crochet 2, 1, 2, and decrease, crocheting these 2 stitches together. Single crochet 2 and decrease. All right, now that you've made it all the way around, you're going to work on the very last round of the body, which is round 10, and it is simply single crochet and decrease 6 times around. So here's what it'll look like. Single crochet and decrease in the next stitch. Let's repeat that. Single crochet and decrease in the next stitch. And we're going to do that all the way around here. When you've made it to the end of the round, you will have 12 stitches to finish, and that will match the 12 stitches of the head's opening. So you'll be able to stitch them together, stitch for stitch. And go ahead and fasten off with a long yarn tail, because you're going to use the this long yarn tail to go ahead and sew to the head of the doll. So that's that for the body. After you do the body, you'll be ready to work on the dress skirt. When you finish with the body, you will now work on the dress skirt portion. We're going to flip the body over and look at where the color changes. Near there, you'll see the front loops that are unworked, and these are created back in round 6 of the body. So what you'll do is you'll actually find that first front loop that's unworked, and we're going to go ahead and crochet the dress skirt from there. All right, so let's go ahead and attach yarn that we want for our skirt color, and I'm using the same turquoise yarn as earlier. What we'll do is attach the yarn and chain 3 to start. So here, let's pull that yarn through. Oops. Okay, that was terrible. Sorry about that. No one needed to see that catastrophe. Okay, there we go. Now, after you attach the yarn, getting dangerously close here. So fiddly. Okay. Sorry, this is what happens when I have the camera like right in front of me. I'm working at night right now and using this lamp and trying to position my camera, and it's hard for me to see what I'm doing. All right, so you're gonna chain 3 after you attach the yarn, and then insert a double crochet into the same stitch that you just came from. And now we're going to work only in these front loops all the way around. I'm going to carry the yarn tail a bit and put that into my stitches as I work, so that way I don't need to weave them in later. All right, so in the next double crochet, you're going to do a double crochet. And then you're going to do a double crochet increase in the next stitch. So that means put 2 double crochets in the same stitch here. And we're basically going to repeat that around. So 1 double crochet, and then 2 double crochets in the next stitch. Once you feel like your yarn end has been carried far enough, it's a number of stitches over, so I'm going to go ahead and snip it off so it doesn't get in my way as I work. And now let's continue on. So again, that's going to be a double crochet and then an increase all the way around. Double crochet in this next stitch, increase in the next, double crochet, and increase, and we're going to work all the way around until we reach the end of the round. When you get to the very end of the round, you're just going to put 1 double crochet in the very last stitch. And what you'll do is join with a slip stitch to the top of the chain 3 that you started with. So I'm going into that 3rd chain up here, and I'm going to join with a slip stitch. And actually, now is a good time to switch colors to the lacy edging that you want. I'm going to be using white. So I'm going to pull through with the white. And here I'm going to do an increase in the first stitch. Let me make sure I pull my blue yarn tighter so there's not as much of a gap there. And slip stitch in the next stitch. By the way, you're going to want to work around in back loops only for this entire round. So going into the back loops, increase, and slip stitch. Let's do this all the way around. Increase, slip stitch, increase, let me go ahead and snip off the yarn here, oops, because it's been carried far enough and I can get it out of my way now. All right, and continue all the way around using this method. Alternate between increasing and slip stitching. So here we've gone all the way around the entire round, ending with a slip stitch for the last stitch, and you will go ahead and fasten off with a tail and weave in the ends of that tail. So that's that for the dress skirt. You'll want to straighten out the body a little bit, and you can see that the dress skirt is nicely crocheted right over the body, so it's nice and neat. All right, on to finishing. At this point, you'll have finished all of the crochet pieces for your doll, and that includes 2 little arms, 2 legs, 2 pigtails, a hair cap, the head, a blossom for the hair, and also the body with the attached dress skirt. So let's go ahead and start attaching. We are going to start by attaching the legs to the body. You'll want your doll to be able to sit down, so make sure you sew the legs straight forward, both of them pointing forward, so that your doll is able to sit like this. If you put them right underneath the bottom, like so, the doll won't be able to sit, but instead you'll have more of a standing doll, which is wonderful too if you want to do it that way. But for my doll, I'm going to choose to have her sit down. So I'm going to attach my first leg, right between the color change here. Now let me go ahead and pull the stitch through for leg number 1. Alright, so here I have one leg sewn on to the body, and as you can see, when it's right between the color change here, you're able to have the doll sit down. If you sew it too close to the middle of the white area, it'll be a standing doll. So keep that in mind, and go ahead and sew the second leg, position in a way so that the legs go forward like so. Here's a look at the 2 little legs now sewn on to the body. Once you have that done, you're going to go ahead and sew the arms to both sides. Try to line them up so that they are right on these sides, and make sure they're centered with the legs. So what helps me is to squish the top of the opening round and make sure the legs are pointing forward. And I'm going to go ahead and squish it perpendicularly to the center, and I'll find where the halfway points are. So I want to put my arm right at the halfway point here, and I'm going into the very top round of the body so that the arms are very high up. After you crochet both arms, you're going to go ahead and stuff the body. You can stuff it with the back of your crochet hook, or you can use chopsticks. If you want, you can use some embroidery thread to sew a little mouth onto your doll. I like to make a little U shape for the mouth. And it's looking a bit like a V shape right now, but alright. That works. At this point, you can also attach, or not attach, sorry, place the hair cap onto your doll's head, and you'll want to put the hair cap at a slant. Kind of position it to see how you want the bangs to look. There's going to be a dip in between the 2 flaps of the bangs. So I like to put it off to one side, kind of line it up to be towards one eye, like so. And then you can also get the pigtails ready. You're going to be sewing them on to both sides of the hair cap first. After you sew them onto the hair cap, you're going to sew the little flower onto the top of the head, and then you're going to sew the hair cap onto the head. Here are the 2 pigtails sewn on. They are 8 stitches apart, counting from the back. So if you'd like to place them lower, try and put 8 stitches between them. After you fit the hair cap onto the head, you can go ahead and find where you want to place the flower. I like it put off to one side, and one easy tip is to use your crochet hook to actually go through both layers first and pull in one of the yarn ends here. And that kind of secures the location of the flower, and you can go ahead and take some time to sew the other end in and make sure it sticks on more firmly. Once you have the little flower sewn on, you're going to make sure the position of your hair cap is where you want it to be. And once you're ready, go ahead and sew it onto the head. I like to just go in the side or the edges of the hair cap and make sure you are going through both layers so that the hair cap is properly secured. Once you have the hair cap sewn on, you're going to go ahead and stuff the head. Make sure you stuff it well so that the head is not caving in any way. You want to especially push the cheek area out where you have that second set of increases from the top. So here I'm going to go ahead and use this crochet hook to round out the cheeks. And this way I can make sure that her head isn't going to... After you make sure both the head and the body are well stuffed, you're going to sew the body to the head using that long yarn tail from the body. Just go stitch by stitch. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you really enjoyed crocheting Little Lucy, and stay tuned for more free tutorials. Bye now!